For those of you who aren't familiar, there are two main components found in marijuana plants, the first being cannabidiol, commonly known as CBD. When discussing CBD, it is important to distinguish the difference from THC, the other compound found in marijuana which is responsible for the psychoactive high. In the 1940s, CBD was first isolated from marijuana, and in 1963 its structure was reported. Recently, CBD is being utilized for its medical effects, especially its anti-inflammatory properties. CBD has been proven effective in treating numerous health issues, including arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, also known as IBD, and potentially even multiple sclerosis. Currently, in the field of kinesiology, many researchers are utilizing CBD's anti-inflammatory properties to decrease overall recovery time in athletes. Inflammation and oxidative stress underlie many chronic and acute injuries in professional athletes, proving the importance of employing CBD's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Considering the exercise-related damage and fatigue-mediated inflammation, CBD may have beneficial therapeutic properties for athletes. In addition to the molecular mechanisms that still need to be fully understood, CBD holds analgesic properties which relieve pain, providing an alternative to opioids to treat pain as a result of injury. The World Anti-Doping Agency removed CBD from its prohibited substance list in 2018, which is accelerating the rate at which athletes are trying CBD. According to Rojas Valverde, it is estimated that the use of CBD amongst athletes in contact sports is 28%. It's important to note that because the research done on CBD is quite preliminary, there are no official recommendations for dosage and frequency of CBD for anti-inflammatory and other medical conditions. Instead, it's best that a person take the proper precaution and seek more information from a medical practitioner on using CBD for any potential risks that may be associated with it. However, the few studies which have been conducted seem to use similar dosages. However, as previously stated, please consult with a medical professional as the proper dosage, frequency, and duration for an individual can differ on various factors. As with all medications, initially it is recommended to titrate your dosage of CBD. To elaborate on this, the dosage should start low and increase until optimal, which can be measured by the absence of pain and side effects. This particular study recommends that dosage should start at 5 milligrams daily and increase by 10 milligrams every 2 to 3 days until patients feel optimal effects, or until 40 milligrams are reached.
With access to social media, it's easier than ever for individuals to publish claims without any evidence. For this reason, it's important to discern false assertions from claims backed by research. The main claims made by manufacturers include reduction in pain, anxiety disorders, sleep disorders, and stress, which is supported by research. More specific to our focus on kinesiology, CBD is claimed to hold anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, as well as analgesic, or pain-reducing, and antibacterial properties. These can allegedly be utilized in the treatment of conditions ranging from MS, arthritis, and IBD, or even acute sporting injuries. Research to support these claims suggests cannabis reduces inflammation by reducing the levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines and inhibiting the production of T cells, which play a critical role in the body's inflammation response. Though many experts advocate for the use of CBD for the aforementioned illnesses and injuries, it's important to keep in mind that research in this field is still relatively new and ongoing. As with any drug, CBD should be taken in moderation only when necessary. With this being said, experts most frequently advocate for the use of CBD for the treatment of inflammatory conditions, as well as chronic pain, anxiety, and sleep disorders, as these are the most extensively researched conditions with regards to CBD treatment. It is, however, suggested that individuals consult their healthcare practitioner to ensure that the drug is right for them, as it may interfere with other pre-existing conditions or treatments. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, a surgeon and medical doctor for CNN, states that CBD has enormous potential for treating inflammation in his 2013 documentary, Weed, which explores the potential health benefits of marijuana. Other notable proponents of this view are Dr. Ethan Russo, a board-certified neurologist who's been studying the effects of CBD for over 20 years, Dr. Bonnie Goldstein, a medical doctor of Canna Centers, which is a medical practice that specializes in cannabis medicine, and Dr. Jordan Tischler, a Harvard-trained physician and cannabis specialist who's been studying the medical benefits of cannabis for over a decade and founder of Inhale MD, a medical practice which specializes in cannabis therapy. Though we can't speak for all consumers, the general reviews of CBD are overwhelmingly positive, especially when referring to its anti-inflammatory and anti-analgesic properties. Many suffering from arthritis, IBD, MS, and chronic pain claim that CBD is the cure they've been looking for their whole lives. Though manufacturers play a large role in this hype surrounding CBD, much of it is also driven by consumers looking to share their positive experiences with others in similar situations. These positive experiences provide a compelling rationale to use CBD more frequently in treating inflammatory diseases. According to CNN and Dr. Sanjay Gupta, 93% of Americans are in favor of CBD for medical treatment. And as more people are inclined to try CBD for medical treatment, this number is set to increase as it has been over the past few years. There are many studies currently being done to test the efficacy of CBD. The types of the studies vary, but most common are clinical trials in which CBD is being administered to humans in a controlled environment to test the efficacy in treating medical conditions. Animal studies have also been done to predict the effectiveness and potential side effects that could occur in humans. In vitro studies are done to test the effect of CBD on cells and tissues and to further understand the molecular mechanisms behind the therapeutic effects of CBD. Finally, epidemiological studies have also been used to determine the risks for CBD users to develop other health conditions.
The evidence surrounding a reduction of frequency in seizures of children and adolescents were conducted using human trials. In these trials by Hussam, Kadam and Company, they used a subject pool of 57 participants suffering from various forms of epilepsy. The average age being 9.6 with a standard deviation of 4.6. Using a dosage ranging from 4 to 32 milligrams through oral intake, they were able to conclude that through parental reports that CBD treatment helped alleviate the frequency of seizures. However, it is important to note that further experiments and randomized trials need to be done to legitimize authenticity. While the literature surrounding CBD as an anti-inflammatory agent was conducted on both human and animal populations. In the preclinical trials performed on mice, researchers were able to investigate the effects of CBD in pulmonary mechanics in mice that were induced with lung inflammation. This study revealed that through the treatment of CBD, it led to the decreased effects of lung inflammation and improved lung function, while mice who didn't undergo CBD treatment experienced alveolar congestion and thickened alveolar walls. From this literature, it can reinforce a narrative that CBD can be used and tested for treatment of inflammatory diseases. However, when testing for anti-inflammatory effects on humans, there is limited literature in evaluating CBD solely, and more studies would need to be performed to legitimize the same and improve its accuracy. With limited studies available, it was determined that CBD's inflammation response to be inconclusive. On the other hand, though, strongly support that CBD does play a role in the inflammatory response. One study from 2020 discusses how clinical trials have been conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of CBD for many factors, including pain and inflammation. In this literature, it discusses CBD's role in the reduction in knee pain and inflammation with patients living with osteoarthritis. Furthermore, providing us the understanding that CBD does have a response. However, it is still paramount that there are still more clinical studies conducted to evaluate THC and CBD separately, as literature on CBD's effects on inflammation solely evaluating using CBD is scarce.
There is substantial evidence that suggests CBD has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, which can be used to treat sports injuries, arthritis, and other inflammatory illnesses. In addition to this, feedback from consumers and experts overwhelmingly support the use of CBD for these inflammatory conditions. Therefore, we do recommend using CBD for treating these conditions. However, CBD should be used in moderation as side effects can occur, possibly including toxicological effects that could potentially alter patterns of hormonal production, although more research is needed to understand this. CBD may interfere with other pre-existing conditions or treatments. In addition to this, preliminary research shows that CBD may impact fertility and pregnancy. For this reason, we recommend consulting your healthcare practitioner before trying CBD and titrating the drug from a low dose to monitor side effects.